Well, good morning and thank you. And my name is Brian Premock. I'm Vice President and General Manager of InSource Solutions, and welcome to our 30-minute webinar today on aligning teams towards operations excellence with the new AVEVA Operations Control Flex subscription. You know, the past quarter has been pretty exciting. I think many of you know that AVEVA completed their acquisition of OSIsoft at the end of March, and over the last quarter we've heard from this new combined management team about their vision for the future. They're kind of using the banner AVEVA Performance Intelligence to talk about all the combined capabilities of these two great companies. And I've always been a fan of Dr. Patrick Kennedy. He was a founder of OSIsoft. He goes back 40 years in this industry. Their Pi solution, which is a play on that performance intelligence, really defined the standard for process historians. And it's only been recently that I heard him speak to the company as a whole, to AVEVA and all the channel partners, or AVEVA Select partners as we're called. And one of the things he was talking about was the different areas or different initiatives that they use at OSIsoft to make their customers successful. And one of the big ideas he said was a recognition on their part that they needed to make it easier for their clients to access and use all the different tools that they had in the portfolio to achieve success. And so kind of with a nod to that, the team has already taken a page from this easy button playbook. And this subscription really helps customers by taking a wide swath of tools, not OSIsoft yet, but it certainly sets the stage for that, to help them achieve performance gains really across operations, performance, safety, quality, and profitability. And I can't think of a better time for this. I think it's I think we all know the world is changing, and really the adoption of digital business models, which started in earnest as a response to the COVID pandemic last year, has really not stopped. In fact, it's accelerated, and there's a lot of data points that indicate that that's the case, and probably will continue to be the case. At the top is a summary of a couple of facts that I took out of a McKinsey report that AVEVA has been a part of, and they report that there's been a 43 times or 43x increase in the number of companies that have deployed or plan to deploy some type of remote collaboration. And that makes sense. We learned last year how to operate our companies, our factories remotely, and there's been a huge gain from that initiative. But complementing that on the right-hand side is that they indicate there's a 25x increase in both companies that are reporting they're working on projects for advanced operational technology to complement that, and also to give them more decision-making tools. And a few other nuggets there was that we're at a crossroads with regards to worker availability. We have a huge group of the industrial workforce set to retire over the next couple of years. That's going to require kind of a great crew change. And many companies are reporting that it's a war for talent out there to get talented folks to come in and work in their manufacturing operations. And down at the bottom is a Gartner report, and a few things that jumped out to me was that again they validate what McKinsey saw. 50% of organizations are saying that they plan to invest in artificial intelligence and digital twin in the next 3 years. That's all part of a digital transformation strategy. We're going to hit 5 billion devices connected to the internet this year, which is a huge milestone, a very big number. And with regards to cloud computing, 90% of companies they surveyed are indicating that they're using or planning to use the cloud. And that, again, is a huge mind shift change. I remember just 3 years ago, we would talk about some of the cloud solutions in the AVEVA portfolio, and there was a sense of we don't ship our data outside of the four walls. Well, that certainly has changed. And so the operational excellence solution, the kind of things that the team believes it brings to the forefront are simplicity to choose really a single package that reduces the purchase and adoption complexity. They are liking it to outcome-focused solution versus a product solution. So they're going to give a portfolio of tools that provide kind of a ability to transform digital operations and provide insights, and also just digitize work processes and knowledge in a way that we've not been able to do before. They continue the adoption of more of an unlimited type of platform. So our legacy solutions still, we measure by the number of clients, or we measure by the number of IO tags. And I talked last quarter about some of our offers, our unlimited offers in the SCADA space, and they continue that with this offer. No limitations on IO tags or devices. And the goal there is really to get more information out to more associates across a company. And it's comprehensive. I think one of the strengths that AVEVA and Wonderware have always been known for is their ability to connect to everything. And if you have that capability, that's the foundational element. Now, how do we unleash some additional tools to allow people to act on that information together, or to work collaboratively with the same information to, in essence, crowdsource problems, problem resolution, and gain insights into the business. So the model that we often hear about when we talk to our clients is really based on this idea of aligning cross-functional teams to a common intent or business goal. And I would break it down this way. There's three different types of operations teams. First is roughly the plant or field team that's really got the short-term focus. Really, their view is of the current shift. What are the orders that are coming down? What do we got to make? And then what tools do we have at our disposal to get that work done as effectively and as efficiently as possible? And then you've kind of got a medium range focus team. Let's call them the control room team. And they're comprised of both operations and IT and engineering and a plant manager. And essentially they're looking a little bit more broadly at the process, and they're seeking to get information that helps them optimize two life cycles. Number one is the operations life cycle. That's all the things that your facility makes, from raw materials to finished goods. And the second one is the asset life cycle. That's all the assets that are deployed in doing that. So we're looking to improve efficiencies in making stuff, and then increase our return on all the assets that we have deployed across the value stream to do that task. And then you've got the enterprise team. So they've got the longest term focus. Sometimes they're a continuous improvement team. Sometimes they're just a corporate team. They're asking, they're setting and driving the company's strategic direction. They're asking more complex questions. Are we making money? Are we hitting our plans and our margins? Are we controlling costs? Are we satisfying our customers' quality requirements? These groups often work in different locations. But what's interesting is they usually share or want to share the same sources of the data. And I think they recognize that if they get their data sometimes out of different silos, but they'd like to have a single version of the truth. And the other recognition, or the thing that's articulated to us, is that if they could share that knowledge to more people, they, like I said, would have the ability to crowdsource both insights on how they can perform better, and also how to overcome problems when they crop up. And so there are some different streams or core components that all of these teams could benefit from that transcend all three levels. And number one, that's access to plant floor data, getting things connected into a single repository. There's a need for data analysis and reporting tools that can meet a wide range of requirements. There's a need for tools that help these teams communicate and collaborate better, and also a common platform for managing this as a single system versus trying to manage it as independent single point solutions or silos. So this sets the stage for AVEVA Operations Control. And I mean, in theory, this is kind of the simplest way that I could explain it. They're taking a site-wide approach. So think of it as this is access to all the things that you would need across the site. And it starts with one of three core packages. So the first package, called Edge, allows a company on their site to access either at the SCADA level, either our venerable InTouch HMI or AVEVA Edge, which was formerly known as InSource prior to their acquisition in 2014. The middle SCADA option is to access either the AVEVA system platform or the AVEVA plant SCADA, which is the new terminology for what used to be SciTech. And on the right-hand side is the enterprise core package, which is really focused on those users that have many different sites, or maybe they're multinational, and they're really trying to pull up a kind of a common command center view or operations center of excellence view across multiple locations using our OMI type solution. And then the common thread that I talked about in the previous slide is really fed by several different solutions that now are available universally to somebody that wants to go down this path. They include our AVEVA communication driver portfolio, AVEVA Insight, our cloud solution, AVEVA reporting, AVEVA Teamwork, which is a new skills, training, and collaboration tool, AVEVA Integration Studio, which is an offer we've had for a long time, but a lot of people don't know about. That's really a cloud-based sandbox to complement your production system. And AVEVA System Monitor, which is an evolving set of tools to help companies that have deployed AVEVA software to generally monitor how that software's, the health of that software and how it's performing, and be alerted in advance if there's issues. This constitutes the current solution, but once a company goes down that route for their site, there are two add-ons to that. One is our MES solution, which will make it very easy to build on this data set and extend it with common MES type functionality, which bridge from the plant floor to the ERP. And then the AVEVA Insight Guided Analytics tool, which is really unleashes a great deal of artificial intelligence types capability, again, on the same data to improve asset performance. I thought, since some of these are new to many of you, that I would spend a little time not in the SCADA, but rather in the common components, just to get you a sense of what these things do. So the first one I wanted to jump into was AVEVA Insight. Now, AVEVA Insight's been out there for about 7 years. It really did start as kind of an online historian, but it's extended much further than that. It's extremely developed at this point. It allows people to pull data up into a cloud, distribute it quickly, whether you're at your desktop through a common browser, or on a tablet, or on a phone. And certainly that's how people use it. And instead of me putting words on the page, I thought I'd give you a look. You can go out to the connect.aveva.com website. You could actually test drive this at no charge, but here's kind of a look at its dashboarding capability and the add-on for asset efficiency. Again, this would pull information from a PLC or the SCADA to allow a company to see and categorize downtime or track their OEE. This is an asset framework that's available so that we can start to categorize information by asset, and then view information like process control charts for that asset, active alerts for the asset, efficiency if it's available for the asset, news feeds, which is an application of artificial intelligence in the cloud to, as it sees trends, to alert you of different anomalies that might be of interest. Saved content that goes with the asset, journaling or journal entries, and there was some geolocation information down there as well. So AVEVA Insight is really more than an online historian or a way to see dashboards. A great deal of the AVEVA portfolio has now been ported up into the cloud. What you get automatically is access to easy to use navigation and dashboards and time series analysis and geolocation and mapping. And these add-on modules, which are very, very simple and easy and kind of pre-built, can give you operational performance like downtime OEE, the asset library, AI and machine learning, interface to your enterprise asset management, or maybe your computerized maintenance management system, and a new tool that was released this year, a business intelligence gateway. Another cool common component of this new solution is AVEVA Reports for Operations. Now, this was formerly known as Dream Report. It's now bundled in the solution, And it's really what we call the 3-in-1 solution. It's got very easy to develop industrial reporting, live web dashboards, and an analytical data server for your reporting and data analytics needs. And we often just say this is the designer-friendly reporting software for industrial control people. It's really 3 hallmarks are open and direct connectivity to talk to SCADA, HMI, PLCs, historians, can even get access to other third-party data sources through SQL interfaces. It's really quick and easy to use, really big library of templates, kind of a what you see is what you get editor, no programming or scripting. It allows people that don't have IT background to kind of build their own reports and publish them to their teams quickly. And it's scalable, simple installation, access to aggregated live and or historical data. That's that analytics piece, and people can pull reports on demand, and they can view them by web, PDF, Excel. They can export that information, send it to a printer, email, or browser. And just a quick smattering of just some of the standard reports that you'd get once installing the application. So a really well-rounded and very capable reporting solution. Then 2 other pieces that aren't as well known, but go along this core common thread. The first one is a new product that's called Teamwork, which really brings the knowledge held by your experienced workers together with digital technologies to engage and connect new workers. This creates a sustainable environment for knowledge retention and fosters collaboration between these 2 workforces. And what this looks like in practice is, on the communication front, it connects workers across shifts and facilities to solve problems. So you can share insights in a logbook and continuously grow the archive of knowledge just as people use the platform. Second is digital knowledge. So for instance, you're going to use this on a mobile platform like a tablet or even your phone. And you have the capability to scan a QR code for a given asset. And that's going to bring up a standardized library with, it might be just the work instructions that you've taught to someone. It might be videos that show step-by-step how to do the work instruction or how to troubleshoot. All of these things are now at your disposal once you develop them. It tracks skills development or skills management. So as you think about bringing new employees in, you start to build, let's say, best practices, and then you try to train people, and then you try to certify them. This solution keeps track of those different, let's say, onboarding classes that they need to complete or the videos they need to watch. It can track who's completed them and who's been certified on what. And also when it comes time to let's say, change the curriculum or update the curriculum, that can be done here as well. And finally, one of the coolest things is the issues management piece. So this really allows people to capture, track, and resolve problems using a feature which is kind of a call for help or escalation. And this allows them to collaborate with various people. It doesn't even have to be in their particular site, and it can access subject matters that are maybe in one location while the problem is in another. And finally, Teamwork delivers all these features and functionalities needed to close the continuous improvement loop in a single integrated platform. So it kind of starts with identifying issues, using the factory feed and dashboard and forms to shine a light on major and micro issues in the operation. Then you can use problem escalation and issue tracking to help resolve that faster. You can record and capture, share best practices from a multimedia-based knowledge center. This could include work instructions and troubleshooting manuals. It provides skills management, training, programs, and exams. And then finally, checklists and tasks to make sure that all your instructions are being followed. So bringing this capability really transcends all different groups and makes the unconnected connected to make people more effective in their day-to-day work. And finally, when it comes to a single platform, it's very common these days to have customers have a production, system. So they think a lot about where's my server farm, how many servers are involved, what software is deployed there. But really, there's a need to have kind of a sandbox environment, and we do that today. Customers can go and buy sandbox licenses that mirror the licenses they have in production, but there is a cost to that, not only in both buying the licenses, but also in setting up another environment, another server farm, and there's care and feeding with that. And companies know that can be expensive. So another really cool feature that's cloud-based is this sandbox that we call Integration Studio. And it's extremely easy to access. In fact, everybody that owns Development Studio in any AVEVA SCADA product has the capability to just go to the website, put your username and password in, and start their own sandbox. And then what you get out of that is rapid creation of any AVEVA or Wonderware environment. So what I've done here, just to illustrate this, is with just a few clicks, I stood up a set of virtual machines with a system platform and a couple of clients, and it tells me what the machine specs are. It'll even tell me how much it costs to operate, and you're only charged when this is running, and you can stop it and you can start it. And this one is about 34 cents an hour. And this allows us to do a lot of things. It allows us to centralize company standards. It allows us to go and back up what we have in production and practice restoring that backup in a sandbox environment. Very helpful with some of the cybersecurity issues that we've had recently. It allows multi-user collaboration, both internal and external to the company, allowing multiple SIs to come in and work in the sandbox environment to test things or do acceptance testing. And then from there, you can redeploy any changes to your production environment or even manage devices on the edge. So extremely useful solution. Everyone, like I said, that's got Development Studio can set up a user. They can then allocate seats. So for instance, an end customer might allocate a seat for someone on their team for their own personal projects, and then allocate a seat or seats to one of their public projects, which might replicate their production system. And SI organizations are doing this in the same way. And there's other exciting things that are happening here. So for instance, a lot of our visualization tools now share what we call industrial graphics, and the Integration Studio, this cloud-based sandbox, is the place where we can exchange those graphics. So, for instance, if you had somebody develop graphics in InTouch, and then you've got another plant that's got a AVEVA Edge, or you just want to bring those graphics up into our Cloud Insight solution, you can simply export them out of the one of these solutions, bring them into the cloud, and then you can export them to any one of these that you see here. So, a great deal of utility and time-saving engineering in this type of solution. And then work on the bookends. I didn't spend as much time here, but we have AVEVA System Monitor for health monitoring of any hardware and software that's deployed, and also our set of communication drivers. And so going one more layer down, this is kind of what it looks like in practice. So this is kind of how simple it is to really commission or decide what solution you need. There's only three choices. There's Edge, Supervisor, and Enterprise. I'll pick on Supervisory here. Supervisory in this column would give the site access to AVEVA System Platform or SciTech. And there's three sizes. There's small, medium, and large. So the client essentially just sizes by the number of named users that are potentially going to use this entire solution across their site. And these can be combined. So for instance, small is 25 named users, medium is 100 named users. You know, if they go through the inventory of people that might access the system and it's 50, you can order 2 small packages and it gets you 50 named users. As you go down the list of features, from an infrastructure standpoint, you get access to as many of the AVEVA Professional. These are the multi-processor, multi-threaded drivers that are required for your site and your particular challenges. You get AVEVA Teamwork, and you inherit the number of named users that get access to Teamwork. So it's a very quick way to deploy this site-wide. You get an AVEVA Historian. There's no tag limit on the Historian, and you get AVEVA Historian clients, and again, you inherit the number of named users from the package. You get AVEVA Insight, so you get the cloud system and to bring the data into. Again, use named user count in terms of the number of people that can access it. The reporting solution, no limits on the number of reports or the number of pieces of information. Again, it's the named user count it applies to the number of users that can use the package. You can download it, the appropriate development environment for the visualization solution and the system monitor, and of course tech support is included. And once you decide in the future that you want to scale this solution, there are add-on packages for MES, same conventions, and or the guided analytics. And really, this is a big leap in the transition away from our traditional licensing. We're offering unlimited I/O, tag screens. If there's, you can take as many InTouch licenses or Edge licenses and deploy them as required to meet your application. So the convention here is really removing these features in terms of the license and really just adding up the number of people that you think at your site are going to need it, and that will be the price that you'll pay to essentially access the entire component stack here. And finally, this is really a foundation, and we talked about agility and talked about the need to scale. So this is an information foundation. These tools right here can be sized appropriately to bring information from the plant floor into one common repository and a historian, and then we can augment that with these core components. The company can then scale at the site level to add MES or Insight. And then they can also access the entire portfolio from AVEVA. So if they wanted to explore 3D design or digital twin, or let's just say mobile operator rounds, all of these things can be added on a single component basis. It's a credit system, so we just tell you how many credits it's going to take to add to your contract, and you have access to them. And what's really cool about this is that if your needs change, any of these solutions, you control them. So if you decide in the future you're no longer using mobile operator rounds and it was using 1,000 credits, you can say, I'm not going to use that anymore. You can return that. You can take the 1,000 credits and move it into something else. So a huge change in not only access to portfolio, but your ability to control what you're going to use out of the portfolio given whatever business issues that you're facing at the time. So again, I want to thank you for the time today. I hope this gives you what we call the confidence to operate. If you have any questions, I'm available at bpremock@insourcess.com or give us a call. Thanks again. Take care.